Hey everyone, Jam here. I'm going to walk you through the different sections of the Conversologist Lab co-working space. Like in real life, you can walk around the virtual space to attend a Nerdgasm Huddle, converse with other members, or just find a private space to work. The only difference is you'd be walking using your avatar, and this is mine. So when you first enter the space, you'll find yourself at the lobby where I'm standing right now. And to move, it's as easy as using the arrow keys on your keyboard. So left arrow to go left and right arrow to go right and up and down. Easy peasy. So when you move around the space, you will notice there are areas like this. So if you look at the screen at the bottom, it just said you've entered a private area. And you will notice that your screen looks a bit dim. And you'll notice as well that there are a few objects that glow, like this book, and they are actually objects that you can interact with. So, okay, private areas first. So when you enter, and you'll notice this, I'll go through another private area. This is another brown couches here. So when you enter a private area, what that means is you can have someone or a group of people here sitting down on the couches, and you can have a real private conversation. So if I leave that private space, anyone who's in the red couches or any private area will then be able to have that conversation and I won't hear them. So that's pretty cool. Let's go back to red couches. Now this glowing book, it says type X to open. So most interactable or objects that you can interact with, all you have to do and remember is to type in X or press X, and it will show you a note. This is an example, but it can show you a video. It can show you any other, like an image around the area. In this case, it is just saying that, hey, this is a one of our pages on the website. So cool. So let me get out of that private area. So these couches are literally, if you've got any private areas that you'd like to use, you don't need to book anything. It's not on the calendar. If it's empty, go right ahead, meet up with your cohort, or just sit down and, be there, be available while you're working online. Now in this area is the lab help area. So as you see, this is an object that you can interact with, and it says press X for the tour. So this is an old one. We are updating this as we speak. And in this, what happens here is all you need to do is, it's a video, so all you need to do is just press play and it's going to play. Here as well, it's just a few notes. If you need any support from us, all you have to do is just email us at team@conversologist.com, and the team will be happy to help. Another option, which you will find in one of our other videos in the forum, is that you can ask help from in the forum itself, or we might actually be, one of the team members might actually be here to talk to during office hours when they're available. Let's move around. So this is the water cooler. So of course, you know what happens when you go to a water cooler. And we've got a calendar here. So we've made sure that we put all of the events. Most of them are public events. Anything that you, let's say, schedule with your own cohort privately will not be in this calendar. But that is an option in case, let me just close that, in case you need to book in, for example, one of the training areas, I would say, or meeting rooms. And I'll go through that a little bit later. But this is great because you can just press X and you will see the calendar, and the team updates this. So you'll find out when the next public Nerdgasm and next steps are, when the next Conversologist tour is, in case you've got some friends you'd like to invite and just, look at and ask about the Conversologist lab. Okay, now this is a door and you can close it or open it, and this is a co-working zone. As I said, the virtual space here is all for members to use anytime, 24/7. So if you feel like brainstorming with your cohort, obviously you can go to this space. It's really up to you, but you'll notice that we've got some private areas here. So if I go here, That means that this whole desk, 4 people or within that area, can have a private conversation and work. Here's the same. And this one is if you've got the whole cohort and you just, 5 or 6 people, and if you want to work together, want to talk to each other, then everyone in these seats will hear you. But we've got solo areas as well, like this one. So if you're just here, that just means, well, unless someone, of course, just taps you on the shoulder here and go beside you, then they can talk to you. But that's like sort of your quiet area, and you can stay there. And if anyone is in there, more often than not, the person really just wants to be alone, and maybe they're in a meeting and so on and so forth. So, like in real life, it's similar to a co working space, as I've said. But of course, instead of your physical body being there, you've got your avatar to represent you. Cool. Okay, let me just move over to the meeting areas. So most of our Nerdgasm sessions, we do not use Zoom or Google Meet or anything. We really encourage you to use the meeting rooms or the training rooms here. And the team has creatively place the what do you call this, the names on each meeting room. So this is Chamber of Secrets, etc. So if you want to book any of these, then let the team know, and we will put the slot, or put it into our calendar, I should say, so people know that it is taken. However, if it's open, you can just come in here, first come, first serve, and you can do that and schedule it in your calendar within the forum, right? And again, this is a private area. So what that means, if I go out here and just watch, I won't be able to hear you. But if I'm within this white area, then that means it's private. So that's Chamber of Secrets. And here's Think Out Loud. And let me just go here. And this is the Mind Factory. So this is more of a traditional training, layout. And of course, we've got Ground Zero, which is basically like a theater style here, etc. Now, I've been asked several times whether you can, outside of the membership, if you have, let's say, if you're also a trainer and you'd like to invite someone who's a non-member and make, use it for events, etc. Sure, we can definitely talk about that. What happens is we will need, obviously, to get all the details, etc., so that the non-members are allowed to enter the lab and use it during your event. And that's not a problem. It's just a matter of just deciding on when and where and all the details. And there will be an extra cost to that. Anywho, that's another story. And lastly, of course, look, it's not just all work. There's also fun, and we will have some networking events, which will be here in the Inspiration Lounge. So we'll have a mix of, non-members and members, or all members networking events. You can meet other people around the world. However, if you just want to be here, and we've placed some games here. So there's like crossword, and there's fishbowl, etc., and scribble.io, and so on and so forth. Or you can just, have your networking event here as well. Well, not networking, your private conversations, and have coffee and meetings, etc. This is Tetris, and so on and so forth. So yeah, this is basically the lab, and I'm going to just zoom out. So that's basically the whole space. In closing, the team and I are working, and this is our headquarters. If you do want to just enter the area, you can. That's also open, but usually that's where we work as our little office outside of the lab. So if you have any questions, please, as I've said, email us at team@conversologist.com, or just message us at the forum. We would love to help, and we really hope you enjoy your time here in the Conversologist Lab. Thanks.